Okay, so today we want to cover budgeting 101. My name is Jason Simmons, and this video is intended for people who are serious about building their business and having a long-lasting business and making things work. So what we'll do is I'm going to share my screen here in just a moment and show you what we've got going on. All right, so budgeting 101 for your business. And again, this course is intended for serious business owners that want to be a core IBO. Quite frankly, you have the money, you just have to change your priorities. And that is what I believe is very true. Now, what does it take to be a core IBO? Core IBO needs to be going to all the associations. Core IBO needs to be doing their PV. Core IBO needs to have some customer volume. Core IBO needs to be on BSM streaming. Core IBO needs to be a book of the month. So you're educating yourself and going to, again, the functions and the association. So all of those things, of course, are investments in your business. So they do all come with some minor costs. And I put together here on the screen what those costs are. So you can see that in order to build your business, that you may have some cost of being on BSM. You can see that that $34 a month is the cost of the standing order BSM. The additional tech tools, which is BMP, BWTV, and WebSpace, is around $40 a month. Open meetings. Most cities have open meetings every week. Most of the major cities, at least. Excuse me. And that's about $5 each time. So we're going to say 4 times a month, $20 a month. Quarterly functions. Going to the big conferences quarterly. I'm using $67 a month as a budget. That's about $201 every quarter, give or take. You might be able to make it for that. Maybe it's a little bit more. But we'll just use that number for now. Quarterly BBSs, which is, again, $20 ticket to get in. We're using 7, so that's $21 every 3 months or every quarter. I've also put aside $32 for book of the month, or extra reading, or extra CDs, or extra streaming, whatever extra tools that you might want to invest in. There's a little extra there. And I call it the invest in me total, okay? This is you're investing in you, your business, and how you can train your thought process to be successful by going to all these different functions and participating in the different categories that we have there. So, and then you can see down lower, I have products. We put together, Jennifer and I put together a Ditto delivery that has about 110 points. Cost after shipping about $370. So my total investing cost in my business monthly is about $570. Okay, and a lot of you right now, I've lost you. You're like, there's no way I can come up with an extra $570 I got in this business for the sole purpose of being able to, because I didn't have enough money, let alone come up with another $570 to build a business. So. But what I'm going to show you over the next couple of spreadsheets here is how you can take your budget that you currently have today, just by changing a few things, by selling a few products, and you can basically, on the budget that you have today, without much additional money, be able to come up with that $570, okay? Now, how are we going to do that, right? Now, how are we going to do the PV? So we're going to eat some PV, we're going to use some PV, and we're going to sell some PV, right? And I kind of laid that out here on how we do that. Now, where does the money come from, right? $345 is going to come from your budget, your existing budget today. Okay, we're gonna trim some fat on some variable expenses that you have, and we're going to figure out how we can cut some corners and make that work. You're going to get a PV check of about $75 if you're a brand new IBO. If you got 1 or 2 people on your team, it should be an easy $75 if you're doing 150 PV personal circle. And you're going to sell some products. I just, round number of about 150. I break out what that is a little later on. You hear me talking about doing 110 PV on this Ditto. I think one of the things that we focused on when coming up with this course was that it's tough to get people to go from 0 points a month to 150, right? So a lot of times what I'm teaching people is, do it in increments. Work on 50 and then work on maybe doing 100. Here we have 110, but we're also doing this ditto delivery on the first of the month, okay? And the reason we do it on the first of the month is odds are that you're going to develop some additional customers throughout the month, and you might place a few small orders and maybe even run out of some excess or some bars or some additional product. You need some deodorant, whatever, shampoo, some things that you didn't have on your scheduled ditto delivery, that you'll have another small order around the middle to the 15th to the 20th of the month, where you can finish off at 150 PV, okay? And that's kind of the goal. So now, so this is where the money comes from. How do I free up that money, right? Real basic. Let's go over budgeting. Most people don't budget at all. I've got spreadsheets after spreadsheets where we've budgeted our finances in our house, maybe too much. According to my wife and kids, that could definitely be a possibility. You're going to see on the left-hand side, I've got what we call fixed, monthly fixed budget. And then over a few columns, there's a company called a variable budget. Fixed budget is your rent, your loan payments, house bills, right? Which, I do what I do with all my my house bills, my utility bills. I get on a payment plan, so they figure out how much my payment's going to be, so it does not fluctuate too much from month to month. So that's something that I do so I can keep them standard. I just chose here some different categories that pretty much everyone may or may not have. You might have rent, you may have a loan payment, student loan, credit card, car payment, something to that effect, and then just some normal house bills, right? These are expenses that every month are going to be about the same amount, right? If you're on some sort of a budgeting plan, that may be exactly the same amount, okay? Insurance. So those are things that we really don't have a whole lot of control unless we move. We can lower our rent payment, or we pay loans off, different things like that. There's not a lot of fluctuation. There's not much we can do. Now, one of the things that I did here is I did this example I did with somebody who makes an income of $2,000 a month, okay? Now, some of you are going to be like, wow, if I had $2,000 a month, I'd feel rich, right? And some of you are going to be like, but you probably don't have some of these expenses either. You maybe don't pay $500 a month in rent, right? You maybe don't have too many loans that you have to take care of, okay? Maybe you don't have to pay your own auto insurance or your own cell phone bill or your own energy house bills, okay? Maybe you don't have to do those sort of things. Some of you are going to be like, $2,000 a month, man, if I had a budget that little, I don't know how I would survive. So I know that's somewhere in the middle of, there's some people that aren't going to be able to figure that out, and there's some people that have an easy time. I picked an amount that's not a lot. You're definitely not rich if you're living on a budget of $2,000 a month. You're struggling a little, and things are probably a little bit tight, unless of course you don't have any expenses at all and you're living at home with mom and dad. So on the right hand side, you see the variable expenses. Variable expenses, again, things like groceries, eating out, gas, entertainment. I have the Amway and BWW, and then I have an other category. There's always, when you're budgeting, there's always expenses that you don't really know which category to put them into, and so we kind of lumped them up. What I did is I have an old budget and a new budget, okay? The old budget being what you probably currently do today. Maybe you have a $300 grocery bill in your house. You go every week and you spend $75 a month or $75 a week, and for 4 weeks is $300. Maybe you have an eating out budget of $300 and you don't even realize it. A lot of people, this is where a lot of people get surprised when they start tracking their expenses. Eating out is $300 seems like a lot, right? It's $10 a day for a month, right? Well, Jason, I don't go out every day and spend $10. You're absolutely right. There are some days when you go spend $6 at Caribou for a coffee, There's some days when you just stop by the convenience store when you put your gas on and you get a soda and a bag of chips or a candy bar and you spend $7 or $8, right? But then there are also some days where you take yourself out and your girlfriend or your wife or, your upline, into on my team, you take somebody out with you and it costs you $30, right? Because you go to Perkins and two of you eat and it's $25-$30 after a tip, okay? And so we're kind of just, I think that's actually a pretty fair average even for a college student. The $300 eating out somewhere other than what you eat in your own house isn't that far-fetched for most people. I use the gas. I use $150. Depends on how many times you're showing the plan or what distance plans you're going to, but that may be a fair assumption. $75 in entertainment, which first I thought, wow, that seems high for a college student. And then I got to thinking, well, shoot, man, even somebody with a $2,000 a month budget probably buys a video game every once in a while. They go to the movies, they go bowling, they do whatever people do these days for fun. I don't know. They go skiing. They have some recreation event. They go to a basketball game, a theater play. They do something, right? And I'm not asking you to stop doing those things. I don't think anybody in your upline is asking you to stop doing it. But in the beginning, maybe it would just pare those things back a little bit, okay? Just slow them down a little bit so that you can use those funds to better your life and be able to do more of them in the future, right? So if we can just kind of have a little bit of delayed gratification. Then I have $40 is the category of other. We're going to decrease that. So in the grocery budget, we're going to take $100 out of the grocery budget. We're going to buy some of that stuff from our own business that we can eat, so we don't have to eat as much. We're going to take a big chunk out of the eating out budget, right? Most people today, whether you're in this business or not, need to cut back on their eating out if they want to be able to save more money, right? Because it's a huge expense. You don't even realize, when it's the three kids and Jen and I, it's $100, going almost anywhere, right? So, even Perkins is $50-$60, okay? So it's not like, every time we go out, so if we do that once a week, that's $240 right there. That doesn't include the stop buys at, McDonald's or Taco Bell or Chick-fil-A or whatever, okay? Somewhere else around the month. So we can't really do much with the gas budget. We're going to build this business. We're going to need some gas. We are going to knock some money off. We're going to take $45 off the entertainment budget. And our miscellaneous, we're just going to cut back on our miscellaneous spending or other spending. And you're going to see right there, we saved about $345, right? Now, where does the money come from? I said we're going to cut our budget and find ways to free up $345, right? Now, the cool part about this, though, is this. Your income, when you just had a job, was $2,000, right? We're going to make $150 worth of sales or more, and we're going to get a PV check for $75. So our new budget is $225, right? So we did cut back on some expenses, but we also increased our income because of the business. So there's a little bit of a wash there, right? Okay, there's some great opportunity there, right? So now, what to purchase? So Jennifer's put this together and I did her delivery, and that way she's going to share. Maybe she can share it at a different time. But here's kind of the thing, right? I've tried to make this really simple. I've never been the greatest salesperson. My wife, she can sell. She's really good at finding what a customer needs and what their wants and desires are and helping them get them through our product base, okay? She's not a salesperson, but she is genuinely very good at connecting with people and figuring out where she can help them be successful with our products, okay? And by success, I mean, looking good, feeling good, healthier, better quality products that fit their religious beliefs better. I mean, products that fit their worldly beliefs better, like in our organic lines and stuff like that. So what I did is I try to keep it really simple. We have a person taking double X, this is you, the IBO, double X, one excess case of excess juice, one regular case of excess, one vitamin D, a shampoo and a conditioner, peanut butter bars, Glister, 1 tube of toothpaste, and mixed nuts. Now, the shampoo, conditioner, and the Glister, you may not need those every month, right? So your PV may dip a little bit from one month to another, basically, because, you know, but you can see without those products, it's only about less than 6 PV more difference. So here's what we want to do, okay? And then what we want to do is we want to find 5 to 10 customers. Now, lean on your upline. Your upline needs to help you be able to do some grand openings and some various different situations where you know, when you show the plan, you turn the nose into customers, right? We're going to find customers that will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, will purchase 6 products from us on average every month, okay? Now, in order to do that, you're going to need 5 to 10 customers. Now, because some customers are going to probably not order every month. You know, the person who buys the shampoo and conditioner doesn't use a whole bottle every month, I hope, right? I mean, unless there's a lot of people in the family. And then they may buy a bigger one instead of the little ones that I use in the examples. So here we have 1 vitamin D, 2 shampoo and conditioner, an excess, a men's pack, and a woman's pack, right? Altogether, that's 38 PV. It's about $160 if you sell it around retail cost. You're going to make, 40 extra bucks, right? Now, well, how do I free up the money, right? Well, where does the money come from? Remember, we said we're going to sell 150, right? And in that example, we actually sold 160, okay? So that may give us a little additional money coming in here somewhere, right? So that was one example. Altogether, in this example, the cost is going to be about $369, and retail is going to be a little bit more than that. So you'll be able to make, I didn't put the retail profit off of stuff at your own personal use. I only did retail profit off of what you sold to customers, okay? Now, back in the beginning, we said we would need products about $370, okay? So now we have Invest in Me total of $200. We have products that we put on our digital delivery for the first of the month that has $369, $370, we'll say, okay? And I did do another, example. We have a perfect pack, an excess shampoo, conditioner, bars, Glister, and mixed nuts. And then in this example to the customer, we did 1 vitamin D and 1 box of Double X. So there you go. You find 2 customers or 1 customer that's willing to buy both, and you're done, okay, in this example, okay? Again, now that is worth, that'll net you about $44 again. And the cost of that is $357, so it's actually a little cheaper. You save 12 bucks. So that means you have a little bit more money back in your budget somewhere, okay? So hopefully this helps you. Now remember, the goal at the beginning is to do what? To become core, right? And be able to figure out how to use the business and the budget that you currently have to be able to pay for these things so that you can be core. And in the examples that I gave, hopefully you understood how we did just that, okay? Now, is it going to work out perfectly like this? Maybe not, right? I also did do some examples where we did 150 PV. That's for another day. The real focus here was to help people at least get to the 100, right? And then on the digital delivery on the first, and then get that extra 50 PV throughout the month by either different customers or other stuff that you need for your own personal use. But the thing that I will tell you about the budgeting side of it is I tell my team, take these 2 categories and move them, right? Put them over here where they're fixed cost. Let's see. All right. 370, 100, no, 200, sorry. Put them over here. Take them out of here. They don't belong in a variable cost. If you want to be serious about this business, you know that these things are expenses that you're going to have from the get-go, right? So we take this 0, we take this 0, we still have a budget of 225. It's just that that way when you got this money spent, you know that throughout the month, you're only going to have a couple $100 more until you get your PV check and you sell your products. And once you sell your products, right, okay, put that money back into the business, right, and make it work for you. Now, the other thing that I do suggest for a lot of people is it's hard to keep money from your business and personal life, because our business and personal life mix a lot when we build this business. But what I'll tell you is this: if you get a sale from your business, that needs to go into a separate area, okay? Whether it be into an envelope, right, that says business money only, right? Or whether it goes into an account. I keep a separate account. Any sale that I do to any customer goes, the money from that sale goes into that account. Any checks that I get from the corporation go into that account. I buy my products from myself, okay? So just like this, for personal use, I take money out of my personal account and I put into my business account to pay for my products, because it's my personal use products. It's not my business products anymore, okay? And so I pay my business for those products every month. And that way my business is self-sufficient. My business, I don't look at my business and go, wow, this business is costing me a lot of money. No, this business is not costing me a lot of money. This business is making me a lot of money, because my business account is always growing, because we're spending less than we're taking in, right? And all I had to do was make some minor adjustments to my personal budget to make that work. So hope that makes some sense. I hope that's easy enough for everybody to understand. I'm sure there'll be questions, and we definitely will take those questions at a later time. So I hope you have a great night. God bless.